Now, we have done forming 3 different types of possessive case. For singular noun, you put the apostrophe followed by S. Then for plural, many, if more than one girl, more than one horse, then you put the plural noun followed by the apostrophe. And in the third case, plural, men, women, children, to form the possessive, you will put the apostrophe followed by S. Now, I have some more for you. Now, the possessive case is chiefly used. How is it used? There are 3 things that we need to remember. How the possessive case is used. Okay, let's look at how possessive case is used. We are going to look at that now. Okay, in the first case, when a noun denotes some living thing, when the noun is a living thing, then you say, you write it like this. In the first cases, when the noun is a living thing, when the noun is a living thing, then you write it as, you will say, supposing it's a rat, you will say, the rat's tail. You will write, when the noun is a living thing, then the apostrophe is after the word rat's tail. Or you will say, the man's hand, etc. Just for you to remember. Or you will say, supposing the man's hand, the rat's tail, then what can you say? The horse's tail. This is the noun in the case of living thing. Supposing we are not talking, we are talking about personified things as a noun denote duty, England. When you talk about things that personify something, duty is something that you do. So in that case, you will say duties call. You will say duties call. This is another way of using the possessive form. Duties call, or you say England's heroes or India's. India's heroes. India's heroes. Okay, this is different from what we have learned. In the third case, when a noun denotes time, we are talking about time. When we are talking about time, then the possessive form is different. You'll say a day's march. Okay, a week's holiday, like a day's. And you put the day and after that apostrophe. A day's march. Or you will say a week's holiday. A week's. You put the apostrophe after. A week's holiday. A week's holidays, whatever. Then you will say meter's length. Meters. Yeah, meters length. Then you will say a year, I will return in a year's time. In a year's time. in a years time. Then we have a pound's weight, a pound. Put pound, apostrophe, weight. And these three are different from what we had done earlier. Now, in the first case, if the noun is a living thing, then you write the apostrophe after the noun. The rat's tail, the man's hand, the baby's ear, or you can say mummy's nose, whatever. You will write the apostrophe after the noun. In the second case, when you're talking about personified, when you're talking about duty, work you do, then you say duty is called. Okay, duty is called. You put the apostrophe and then you put the S. Then you say India's. You put India, apostrophe S. India's heroes or England's children. In the personified form, we talk about duty, India, all that. In the third form, we are talking about time, a day's march, a week's holiday. When you say days, the day you write, and after the day, you put the apostrophe. When you talk about a week's holiday, then you write the week, then the apostrophe, and then S. Week's holidays. Then you say here, India's, rats, man's. Now, when you talk about time, meters. You put the apostrophe, meter, meters length. In a year's time. Then we have a pound's weight. When we talk about the possessive case in terms of time, you put a day's march, you put the apostrophe after the days. A week's holidays, you write the week, apostrophe followed by S, a week's holidays. When you talk about meter and pound, you put the apostrophe followed by S. In a year's time, you put the apostrophe followed by the year. Now, these are three other different ways of forming possessive case. Where to put the apostrophe and where is the S following. In the first case is the living thing, so the noun followed by apostrophe and followed by S. That is the first. In the second case, when it personificates, we are talking about your duty or you're talking about India, then you say duties, you put the apostrophe followed by S. Again, India's heroes, we put the noun followed by the apostrophe and the S. England's children, put England, apostrophe followed by S and children. And in the third case, we are talking about time. In this case, a days, put the day followed by apostrophe. You put the days, after that the apostrophe follows. Here, a week, the week is plural, and you put the apostrophe followed by S. In the case of meter and pound, you put the meter, you put the pound, apostrophe followed by S. Year, again here, put the apostrophe followed by S. We will do few sentences for us to understand these forms of possessive case. We have learned the possessive case. We will do few sentences and you must put down the correct apostrophe where needed. Write down the following, putting in the possessive case. Put in the possessive case. The woman The woman went to the grocer. Shop. The name of Mrs. Green dog was Blackie. Have you seen my brother in law? Bicycle. We heard the children. We heard the children shout in the distance. Now I have 4 sentences for you, and we need to rewrite to make the possessive form. Okay? We're going to rewrite them these. The first one we have here is, the woman went to grocer shop. So what will you write? The woman went to the, we'll say, grocers. The woman went to the grocers. So you will write grocers. Put an apostrophe outside and you will write as, the woman went to the grocer's shop. Next one we have is, the name of Mrs. Green dog. Green, Mrs. Green. So you will write Green, Mrs. Green's dog. The name of Mrs. Green's dog was Blackie. So, the next one. Have you seen my brother-in-law? My brother-in-laws. Have you seen my brother-in-law becomes laws. Brother-in-laws. Have you seen my brother-in-law's bicycle? And finally, we have here, we heard the children, we heard the children shouts in the distance. We'll say, we heard the children's. We heard the children. We heard the children's shouts in the distance. Now let's look at the 4 sentences. Here, grocer. So you say grocers. Mrs. Green's dog. Brother-in-law, brother-in-law's bicycle. We heard the children. We heard the children's shouts. Let's read the sentence together. Now, woman went to the grocer. Went to the grocer shop. Then you write it, grocers. Went to the grocer's shop. The name of my Mrs. Green dog was Blackie. The name of Mrs. Green's dog was Blackie. Have you seen my brother-in-law bicycle? So it become brother-in-law's. Have you seen my brother-in-law's bicycle? And finally, we heard the children shouts in the distance. We heard the children's shouts in the distance. So we have grocer shop, Green's dog, brother-in-law's bicycle, and children's shout. Many children are shout. Children shout. We'll do few more exercise to understand where to put the karma in the possessive case. We have to be very careful in writing it out. We will do few more sentences to put in the possessive case to understand better. Okay? The building, that building is the Women Institute. Mary sits in the ladies' corner. My sister husband is coming to tea. Is coming to tea. Is coming to tea. This is a woman bicycle. Okay, now let's write out the answer. That building, the answer, that building is in the, what is the answer? It's a plural noun, Women's Institute. That building in the Women's Institute. Okay? Next one, we have Mary sits in the ladies' corner. Mary sits in the ladies, in the ladies corner, okay, in the ladies corner. My sister, husband. So you will write my sisters. My sister's husband is coming to tea. Is coming to tea. And then we have this is a woman, singular it is. This is a woman's bicycle. Woman, apostrophe, woman's bicycle. Now look at the sentence. Look at all this. We have done. That building is the plural woman, Women's Institute. My sister sits in the ladies' corner. Ladies' corner. My sister husband. So my sister's husband is coming to tea. This is a woman's bicycle. We'll do one exercise now to affirm what we have learned, the possessive form. Okay? Write down the possessive form of possessive form. Now, the friend of my brothers. How will you write? The friend of my brothers. You will say, what is the other way of saying? My brother's friend. You will say, my brothers. My brother's friend. Okay? My brother's friend. My brother's friend. Okay? Whose friend? The friend of my brother. My brother's friend. Another one. Voices of the pupils. The voices of the pupils. How will you write? The pupils' voices. The pupils' voices. So you will write the pupils, more than one. Okay? The pupils' voices. Next, we have the laughter of the boys. The laughter. Laughter of the boys. How will you write? You will say the boys' laughter. The boys, singular. The boys' laughter. Okay, and next we have the house belongs to the ladies. The house belonging the house belonging to the ladies. So how will you write? The ladies' houses. That will be the ladies' houses. The ladies. The ladies' houses. Next, we have the ornaments of the ladies. The ornaments of the ladies. You can say the ladies' ornaments. The ladies. The ladies' ornaments. Let's look at these 4 sentences. The friend of my brother's friend, singular. The voices of the pupils plural, pupils' voices. The laughter of the boys laughter, voices, laughter. The boys, many boys are there. So the voices, laughter. The house belonged to the ladies houses. The ornaments of the ladies' ornaments. So putting the correct possessive form to the word that we have. Looking at it, whether it is singular or plural. Let's look at the sentences again. My brother's friend. The pupils' voices. The boys' laughter. The ladies' houses and the ladies' ornaments. As we go on doing it, we will learn better. Putting in the correct apostrophe for the possessive form.